Dude, man, where's all the doughs? Total sausage fest here. And here's a car sticking out into my lane. It wants to go in that guy's driveway. Welcome back to the beautiful sunny day here in Washington. Look at this out here. This is like day 14 straight of just pure rain. And I'm about 30 miles away from Seattle, east of Seattle where I live. And it's just been nasty. We've got 10 days of straight rain again. And so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going on a drive. I had to do a pickup at a place called Auburn at a super mall for my wife. She's got a package there to pick up. And so we're going to just put the car through regular application like I often do with my drives and see, can the car do this for me? Now, I am on the beta. I'm on 10.3.1. We're waiting today to potentially have 10.4 come out, in which case we'll go out and have some fun with that. But for now, we're on 10.3.1. And so you see I just double tapped right here on the right gear stock down, and it turns on my beta. So what we're going to be watching for here is how are the engagements today. We're going to be watching for how is the cornering to the lefts, how is the brake checking, things of that nature as always. Now, it's just some prerequisites when I do these drives that I will let the car do a lot more than I do when I'm driving not on camera. And I do that because I want to show you guys really where it's at. Most people don't have the beta, right? So try to give you as honest depiction of what is actually going on with it. And so but when I'm driving myself, I do things a lot more like I'm on the accelerator more, helping you get through intersections, where when the camera, I'll let it kind of wait so you see the actual wait times and stuff like that. So right now I have it set at just 5 over the speed limit, and we've got about 22 miles, or 14 miles, 22 minutes on this drive. We're not gonna do it all in regular time. I'll fast forward through the parts that are not, really all that interesting. And the goal is going to be just that the car just simply drives us there. And so, I mean, if they can do that, that'll be pretty awesome. And we're expecting some better turning controls and braking controls with 10.4. So looking forward to that. So we're coming upon the first turn here. It's going to be a turn to the left. It's pretty fast moving traffic here in front of us. And I just want to see the car make a safe turn, not too jerky, and stop closer to the stop sign to actually see. So we're going to come right up to the stop sign. That's good. Now that it says autopilot is creeping forward, of course, I'm checking as well. The car does a great job. And remember, the camera is about 1.5 feet, 2 feet further ahead than your head is, right? So it can see better than you can. It's like you bending forward to look around a corner. The car is starting there. So where sometimes it feels like you might be doing something like, hey, you're too far back. Most of the time, just keep that in mind. It is a little bit further ahead than you. And I've never had any real scare with that. And so here's a really interesting turn here. This curb sticks way out here, and it almost hit it there, but then it saw it and corrected. That was very good. We had a similar situation to that on our last drive. This is a free right. It's going to just look and see, make sure it's safe, and go. That was incredibly done. Very, very well done. Going to get us into that left lane here, so we're not in that turn lane. I mean, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, if this is the first time you've seen the Full Style Drive beta video, here's how you know that I haven't helped the car out, okay? On my screen, there's that blue steering wheel right there. When it's blue, that means the car is on autopilot. That's the main thing you're looking for right there, okay? And so if that ever goes away, where it's just a gray steering wheel, that means the car is not on autopilot. So you can always tell if the car is driving or if I'm driving based upon if that's blue. Now you see me just slow down there to 36 from 40. That was the car braking right there as it's trying to decide what to do with that hill or who knows what. Probably the most common complaint right there is the braking. So just watch that. The ways that it get kicks out of autopilot are a couple. One, if I put too much pressure on the wheel, and this happens sometimes in my drives because as the car is turning, the wheel will often kind of go kind of crazy as it's trying to figure out lines. And you've got to keep pressure on the wheel. It's constantly telling you to put some pressure on it so it knows you're staying alert. Well, if it turns and jerks too much and my hand puts too much pressure on it, it'll think I'm trying to take over and it'll just kick it out. I'll let you guys know when that happens. The other way is if I hit the brake. So that's the second way. And then if I want to terminate it myself on purpose, I'll just press up on this right gear stalk. You can press the park button right here, but that, you know, initiates your parking brake. It's not good to do that. You don't want to do that. It's not gonna like skid out your car or anything, but that is another way to terminate it. If you're just like, and you just want to take control and you just slap it, it's gonna terminate it, but it'll tell you on the screen here. And so, also, every single video I get a lot of questions about my screen up here on top and which one it is. It is the Hanshow screen, and so if you want more information on that, you can look down at my videos. Poor weather detected, navigation autopilot unavailable. So it is raining so hard right now, you guys, that the car is saying it doesn't feel comfortable making turns for me. That does not mean you lose your auto steer. That's still there. We're gonna turn on the wipers higher here. The auto steer still works, and the adaptive cruise control still works. It just isn't going to turn for me anymore. So that's all that means. And what we'll probably see is as soon as the rain slows down a little bit, it is going to take back over again. So you will watch for that to happen. It does it does it a lot better than it used to do. It used to really have trouble with that. Even a fraction of this amount of rain, it wouldn't steer for me, but it's doing a lot better now. And like I said at the beginning of this drive, we just had such bad weather, and we need the car to be able to handle this, and it is definitely getting better. So I still haven't put Rain X or whatever on my screen. One of my favorite followers, Tony, on here, he sent me some out, but it hasn't been dry enough outside for me to put it on. So hopefully pretty soon we'll be able to see out my window better. But also, you guys probably have all noticed, no more cracks in my window. You probably saw the last video. I got it fixed. We're clean now, no more cracks. Pretty excited about that. It makes a big difference. All right, now this is a pretty sketchy little area here. 25 mile-an-hour recommendation. The car is automatically slowing down. If I hit the brake myself, it would have terminated autopilot. You saw the blue steering wheel still there. And now here comes a 20 mile per hour, and this one's gonna be real slow. And it's telling me to slow down there. We're gonna take it at, it looks like 27 miles per hour or so. It's handling it really well. Yeah, flawless. No issues there. It even did it above the recommended speed, which I was perfectly comfortable with. And then right here we go into another pretty sharp little curve for a 25 mile per hour recommendation. So far we've handled two different turns. One of them pretty simple, the other one pretty interesting, a little more challenging, and it handled it with no problem. Now we just got a big strip of road, and then we'll get caught up on the next turn in about a mile and a half. Here's a really sharp curve to the right here as well. We got stop sign right here where some people are stopping, I'm assuming, and it's really going slow around this corner. I'm not sure what to expect. We can see that the car sees all their brake lights. It sees the cars going here. You know, me as a driver, you know, you have a lot of confidence in this car right now. The more I drive on the beta, the more I start thinking this is going to be something substantial someday. And you know what? A lot of people have commented to me that they don't feel that way. Some people have even said that they turned the beta off because it was just so sketchy. And I do not have that experience at all. Yes, it definitely does some weird crap sometimes, but mostly it's just fine. Look at all this traffic through here. So sharp little S curves there. Now really we should let this car in. I'm gonna actually brake to let this car in because that's one thing that they're not going to do. The car is not going to let another car in. It's not polite like that with the autopilot for some reason. So, you know, until that part comes, I'm just taking over. I just double tap to put it back in. You know, I don't want people to be like hating on Teslas. So, you know, when there's a chance to still help people, I always will. So I wouldn't want to be stuck in that traffic trying to get in here. I don't even know why there's this traffic here. It really shouldn't be. So what's going to happen up here pretty soon is that it's going to go up, and then we're going to get on the freeway, and then we're going to head into the town, kind of a shopping center, and we're going to have the car go and basically take us to our parking spot, and then we're going to have the car park for us, which you can now do, you know, on its own. It doesn't need to park between cars or anything now, and now it can actually do it. So that's doing really great. So now the car just realized that it's in a turn only lane. This is not good. So now I have to turn. So that was a not good thing that just happened there. Obviously the car should have noticed it was in that turn lane and not been in that lane. So that was a big fail on autopilot. And so what I'm gonna do up here is I'm going to basically tell the car to fix it. You know, you got yourself in this mess, now fix it. It wants to go in that guy's driveway. Well, we can't do that. All right, we're having some pretty constant failures here. We're gonna go another route, so the car's gonna have to figure it out now. So that you know what, that is one thing that I'm hoping in 10.4 we see updates on, see some improvement on, is that the car is, I'll just say it, it's terrible at being in the right turn lane right now. That's my biggest complaint about the beta, is right now it does not get you in the right lane, at least for me 25% of the time. It'll just put me like that in a lane that I shouldn't be in, and then now you're like, well, now what? So now it's gonna get me in the turn lane here and detour me. Let's see where it ends up taking us here. I don't really know where we're going. Looks like we're going to LA Fitness potentially. So it crossed over the yellow line there, turning, that's fine. Yeah, so we're gonna get put on to another main arterial up here as it reroutes itself here. Yeah, you know what though? I'm just thinking I might have just spoke that out of turn. No, it did navigate me there though, because the car said it can't navigate because of weather, but it still shouldn't put me in the turn lane. It still knows what the lane markings are. Like here, it should be like, see, it's turning me right now. It's getting me in the turn lane to turn left up here. And you see what it did there. It did that really well. It didn't wait until the last second, which has been a big part of my complaint. It got me in way in advance so I could not get in that traffic line. But see, what happens is, let's say that I wanted to turn over, but there was a whole bunch of cars in this lane. A lot of times what it will do is it'll wait too long to get over, and then we're now beside the cars in the turn lane, and it can't make the turn. So here we go again. We're gonna get onto this main arterial here. We got 25-mile-an-hour speed set. I'm gonna bump it up to 30. Here we go. Very good. All right, good. We're back on track then. Okay. So one little flip right there with that turn lane thing. And the thing I would have let the car go, re-find itself, except that it just simply didn't know it was in a turn lane. It was trying to go straight. And here's a car sticking out into my lane that the car can see, and it sees it. It's slowing down for. Let's see how the car handles this. So we're slowing down there. We're gonna go to the outside of the lane. Good. And then steer back in. Excellent. Great avoidance right there, yet not stopping. That's one big deal you see too with the beta, is that it will stop a lot of times before I had the beta, and now it'll just carry on through, just do a little avoidance. So that's a really nice plus. So now up here is going to be a real challenge for Tesla. First of all, it's crazy raining, right? So you got that going on, and I got to make sure the windows stay and the cameras stay nice and clear. So we're going to make sure that the car has control to decide how fast the wipers go. It's on auto. But we've got two turn lanes here that merge into one while they get onto the interstate here. So we'll see what lane the Tesla picks. It's gonna pick, looks like, yeah, the far left lane. Nice and smooth too. It was very decisive there, which is what I love to see. I love it when the car acts like it intentionally did something, not at the last second chose something. So it took the far left of the two, that's great. And so what it will have to do is see when we make this turn, just how, I keep calling it polite, but just to see where the car is going to let other people in or not, or whether it's gonna let other cars in or not as we both make this turn, both lanes. All right, and here we go. We're gonna let the car do all of this as much as possible. Okay, we make that left there. Looks like we're gonna get behind this MDX, and let's hope that it stays right in parallel and doesn't try and pass it like it looks like it might try to here. Slow down, let him in. All right, so right there it did finally let him in, but you know what? That's because that car gunned it, and we also hit our max right there as well. I bet right there that the car would have tried to pass the MDX right there. Wouldn't surprise me. Okay, poor weather, obviously. This is nuts. All right, let's get into town. We're almost to our exit here, and I have to just point out, have you guys even, have you seen how nutty the storm is we're in right now? And the car has driven the entire time, steered for me. It's seeing these lines. I can't even see them at the time. The mist is so intense, and the blow-off off the road is so bad. I can't even, right now, I can't even see the center lane, but the car can. It's just unreal. I gotta take over here, take this exit, because the car can't, it's not on navigated autopilot because of the weather. So that's not against the Tesla, that it's being safe. Okay, now it kicked into the beta, and it's going to handle this around for me here. We're not technically navigating. It says navigate on autopilot unavailable, but it is going to still, you know, keep me in the lines and drive for me here. It is interesting. I haven't quite figured out how the autopilot system determines which direction to take when you're not navigating an autopilot. Like, it's turning right now for me to the right, but we're not technically navigating. And if I didn't have a navigation in here right now, it would still make a decision. Like right there, it's telling me to touch the wheel, but I got to keep pressure on it. Even though the wheel's moving all over in my hands, it's super hard to keep that pressure. So I wanted to get over, and it's going to do it. Get over, get over, get over. Yes, very good. See, it saw the turn lane that time and got me out of it. That was very impressive. So now it just needs to take me straight. So I don't really understand it right now, because it says it's not navigating on autopilot because of the bad weather, but it's navigating me on autopilot. So I'm just, maybe it's just a freeway it wasn't able to do it on at that higher speed, and lower speeds it can. If any of you guys have any insight or thoughts on that, you know, definitely share it down below in the comments. But just going off the notifications on my screen, it was not able to do what it has been doing. I don't know if I just got lucky and then the autopilot system just turned it that way anyway, as it often will do. It'll just kind of take you wherever it wants until you tell it otherwise if there's no destination in. So we'll see. All right. So we've only got a few more turns, so it's going to take us right to our parking lot. And we're going to see just how far I can go. Right now, it's not going to park for me when we get there. It's going to just take me to the parking, and then I will tell it to park. So we'll watch for that. By the way, you guys want to see a bunch of reindeer? Watch this. Ho, ho, ho. So you hear the jingles? That's what happens when your blinker on. So, okay, we got a red light. We're going to be turning in here. Look at all the reindeer. So what it does is it makes all the people and cars reindeer on the road. I think that is so cool, man. That is awesome. Oh, wow. Gotta love this. Like I said in my tweet, like, you know, only Tesla, right? Only Tesla. So, okay. So we see where the car knows it needs to go. It's going to handle that beautifully. Nice and smooth, right exactly in the lines. No hesitation there. We're about to see a ton of reindeer, guys. There's the jingle again. And that's only in my car, by the way. That's not outside of my car. Look at all the reindeer on the screen. They're all bucks, too, man. Where's all the does? Total sausage fest here. Come on now. Okay, free right. Here we go. This is autopilot's creeping forward. Checking, checking. No one's honking at me yet. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Yeah, right through a huge puddle. Splash. All right. So now it's got to figure out its way through here. Perfect location. Nice. Did a great job. And we are now in the mall. So the car drove the entire way other than that one little spot. Fantastic job. Now the last challenge we're going to put through is finding a parking spot and actually parking. We're going to try to find one without lines or without two cars to park between. Look at this car doing. Yeah, so that car looked like he was going to cut us off, so the car braked, but I pushed through the acceleration. Look at all these reindeer. You think you call this a herd, right? It's a herd of reindeers. Or reindeers, no S on reindeers. All right, so we got a bunch of spots right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive parallel here to a spot, and we'll see if we get a little P that pops in. Now the problem is there's just puddles of water on this, and so that I just can't even see that there's lines at all. Okay, so I found some new lines over here that are like really clear, like they were just painted, the kind of thing. There still is a big puddle, but we'll see. Okay, there it is, the P, right? So just all you have to do is put the car into reverse. Okay, hit start, and then the car is gonna go. So this is definitely not going to be a one time because I'm like right in the middle of two lines or two lanes. So it's going to have to adjust for it. But sometimes if you get it just right, it will do it in one turn, which is really cool, but it won't be able to do it this time. Just like a person wouldn't be able to do it this time. Of course, if a person was going to do it, they would have probably just pulled forward a little more to line up for the spot better, not just do it where I started at. But it gives you a better idea of how this all works. So pulling into the spot. Excellent. Perfectly straight, no cars on either side of me, about 3 inches of water, and we're done. So overall, my thoughts on this drive were incredibly impressive. Hands down impressive. that one spot where there's that turn lane that we got into was a little bit weird how it got itself in that position. And I can't say for sure if that wasn't because of the weather being so intense at that moment where it wasn't navigating. It just happened to be in that lane, but wasn't going to correct it, because it did tell me that on the screen. So I'm mostly leaning towards that's why. So if that was true and it was just the weather was preventing the navigation from working, then it was a flawless drive. And so all the way here, 22 miles or 22 minute drive, 14 miles, very impressive. So if you guys enjoy watching these kind of drives, let me know down below in the comment, hit that like button. And just to let you know a little bit about what's coming up on the channel, we've got some pretty big installs. Installs are going to make the outside of my car look quite a bit different, as well as some amazing product accessories that I've reviewed lately, including the sexy buttons, which I'll show you a little preview on the screen right now. And we've got all that coming up here in the next week or two. So make sure that you hit the like button, you subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll see you guys on that next video.